What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to do one of the requests that I got from you guys in the comments, and that is to give you some ABX gameplay using Skurge the Executioner. Now I gotta be completely 100% honest with you guys. Even though I have Skurge, even though I have my tier 2, and even though he's a fantastic character, I don't have that much practice with him in ABX, simply because I have Apocalypse, I have Carnage, I have the two best options, so I have not really spent too much time playing with him in Extreme AB. I am aware that he can clear it, and I'm aware that he can do very well there. However, my Skurge with my build has not really impressed me too much. His survivability is good enough to get the job done. He can most definitely break 100k with my build without Urus, with a really low proc and with very little skill. So hopefully this will give you guys some indication of what Skurge is like once you get him to tier 2. But do not take my build and my performance here as the absolute best the character can perform at. Because keep in mind, I am the legendary Scrub Lord, okay? I literally have 0 skill. And if I'm telling you that I have 0 skill, then it's probably true. Well, not probably, it's definitely true. Anyways, as you can see right here, we have 127 for attack speed, 75% for critical rate, 178 for critical damage, 40% for ignore defense, and 50% for reduced cooldown duration. As for the gears, everything's currently sitting at 20, no Urus just yet, and the last one is roll for a skill cooldown. When it comes to the skills, everything's at 6, and now that he has the tier 2 passive, every time you use the 5 skill, you'll get 5 seconds of invincibility. So you always want to open with the 5 skill, and that's what I do. I generally go 5, then 4, then after that, I'll either go 1 or I'll go 3, 2, 1. But be very careful. Even though you have the invincibility on the 5 skill and the guard on the 3 skill, you can still get hit by the meteors outside of the invincibility. And if you try to be very aggressive and face tank, the meteors are going to stack up very quickly. You're going to get stunned, and you're more than likely either going to get silenced and then killed, or you're just going to get straight up killed. Because the Frost Beast is very aggressive, and he will beat this guard off you literally in seconds, okay? It's only a 5-hit guard for 5 seconds. With all the mobs, the meteors, and the Frost Beast, this can be taken from you literally in a second of you putting it up. So be very careful. Even though he has a lot of survivability at tier 2, he's still not one that you should be playing very recklessly in Extreme AB. In other game modes, by all means, because you don't have to worry so much about the tons of mobs and the meteors. The meteors are what makes this a very risky play with freaking Skurge, because if you don't have stun immunity, once those meteors stack up, you're pretty much assured to die. Okay, so be very careful and play him very cautiously, even though you're trying to maximize your DPS. Now, as for the ISO set, I'm running Power of Angry Hulk, and that is not for lack of trying. I have been trying relentlessly to roll this to overdrive, and I've spent a lot of gold, and I keep ending up right back where I started. So I'm very annoyed. RNGesus is a real troll. Can't get the best one for him. Overdrive is the best one for him, so keep that in mind. As you can see right here, this is not by any means the best possible obelisk for him. You could definitely go with crit damage and crit rate, but you most definitely want a higher proc than this. 100 is the bare minimum. That is the bottom tier. You want something 160 or higher, especially if he's the only option that you currently have. If you don't have Carnage, you don't have Apocalypse, you definitely want to give him a 160 or higher proc. That will definitely help with getting you over 100k, especially if your cards are crappy like mine, because I still haven't put on any of my premium cards yet. So I'll give you guys a glimpse of the stats. I generally don't do this, but I know my Skurge won't do very well, so I want to give you guys a good indication of why he's not going to do very well, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and jump in here and see what we can do with him. I always use Titania's leadership simply because that's the best possible leadership for someone like Skurge. And for me, I generally get no benefit from using solid couple because 1, my crit rate is maxed, and 2, my skill cooldown is maxed. So there's no real purpose of me putting Absorbing Man here, but he's just there for aesthetic purposes, I guess. So let's jump in and get it done. All right, boys, This is not gonna be pretty. I'm sorry. She took a sick day. Oh, that was unfair. I fully got the skill off. That was BS. Now the whole rotation got messed up. That was just unfair. But when is life ever fair? And I walked into that meteor to try and get the rotation back on track. Whatever. Like I said, boys, not gonna be pretty. She took a day off today. So you're stuck with me, Scrub Lord at the wheel, making all the mistakes. Okay, get out of here with those meteors. And 4 meteors have hit me so far, so I gotta run. And by trying to run, I got silenced. And it's a painful cycle using this guy, you know. It's a real painful cycle. Using him in ABX is not something that I would like to do on a consistent basis. Like, seriously, I'm happy I don't have to. For any of you guys who he's your only option, I'm sure you'll figure out how to play him effectively. But for me, he's a handful. Like, outside of ABX, he's spectacular. Truly spectacular. It's just the meteors, man, and the silence. It's just a nasty, 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 nasty cycle. And I'm about to die. Son of a gun. Y'all saw where that was going. I'm just really annoyed. That's annoying. That's annoying. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have, man. This is a bad run for me and my Skurge. Generally, I'm able to keep him alive for the full thing, but generally, it's about 120. 135 is the most I've ever gotten out of him. So yeah, not the best showing possible for him. Like, yeah, like I said, he's not someone I use often. I've only ever used him in here maybe like a handful of times. I would say 5 times at the most, because I have Carnage and I have Apocalypse, and I just really don't have the time to be perfecting my like gameplay with him in here. So yeah, outside of this, he's spectacular, but in here it's a headache because of the fact that a lot of his skills root you, and the meteors just fall on your head, and once you get stunned, you're bound to get silenced and you're bound to get dead. So yeah, that's all I have for this one, man. Like always, thanks for watching. Hope this was somewhat informative. He's significantly better than I was able to use him, so just keep that in mind. This is not the best by any means. I am not the best. If anything, I'm the worst, especially since I couldn't even manage to keep this guy alive, and at tier 2 his survivability isn't really that big of an issue. So yeah, unfortunate, very sad about that, very disappointed in myself, but hey, it is what it is. Another day, life goes on. You guys can learn from my mistakes, hopefully, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love.